How's everyone doing today? Pretty good? Yeah? I know it's the afternoon of the second day here at Actuate, but thank you all for sticking with me. Hopefully we can have some exciting announcements for you today. My name's Bahram. As Lev said, I'm the head of product here at Foxglove. Last year, we had a little bit of feedback that we actually did not chill Foxglove enough at Actuate. I'm mostly kidding, but we did get feedback that people wanted us to kind of talk about what are we building and what are our updates. So I'm here to give the people what they want. Oh, fascinating. OK, there we go. In 2020, before I tell you about Foxglove, though, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story. Back in 2020, I was working at Amazon. I was the product lead on the simulation and mapping team for Scout. So Scout was Amazon's last mile autonomous delivery project. So we were working to basically deliver packages and groceries to you autonomously along the sidewalk in this little cooler looking thing. And on the simulation team, we had a pretty simple mandate, which was to accelerate the development of autonomy. So what that meant in reality was supporting things like sim-to-real transfer, training and testing infrastructure, software in the loop, hardware in the loop. And as we push towards production as an organization, our remit also expanded. So that meant we started working on things like QA and triage, data search and curation, and all sorts of other things. We were a fairly large organization, the simulation and mapping team of 50 people. And we weren't even the only people within the Scout organization working on tooling and infrastructure. We also had a data platform team, a visualization team, and a teleoperations team. And so I often wondered while we were working on this stuff. I mean, I was working with some of just incredible talent that Amazon had. And we were building really quality products. And I was kind of, it was weird to me that why aren't we putting these things on AWS as services, right? We are putting in a crazy amount of resources into these tools that will never see the light of day. And not only that, but for those of you that are familiar with Amazon, Amazon builds tooling kind of in silos. Teams don't take dependencies on each other. So all of the other robotics teams were doing the same thing. And not only that, I have a bunch of friends in the room here. I've always kind of been a robotics nerd. I went to school for robotics. And I knew that other robotics companies, including Cruise from our co-founders, were doing the same thing as well. So it was kind of, odd to me that everyone was going and building their own infrastructure in kind of a one-off, over and over, the same thing pattern. And then one day, I actually logged into the simulation platform at Amazon, and I saw this purple button that said Foxglove. And that's how I found out about Foxglove. It turns out that some of our perception engineers, even though we had our own tools, liked Foxglove so much that they went and kind of hacked and embedded the free tier of Foxglove into our own platform. So you could use that as a fallback perception layer if you wanted. So fast forward about a year, I was at ICRA, the International Conference on Robotics and Automation, and I saw that Adrian, our CEO and one of our co-founders, was giving a panel. And so I went and cornered him and asked him, what is on the roadmap? Like, maybe we're interested in using this. And then 30 minutes later, he actually pinged me, hey, we've raised a bunch of money and we're looking for a head of product. And so the rest is history. That's how I joined Foxglove. But why am I telling you this story? For me, it was kind of always weird that at Amazon, we were building all of this infrastructure from scratch at such enormous cost. And I know that so many other companies do the same thing. And so that is why Foxglove exists, and that's why I've been so excited to be here for the past several years. Foxglove is building that missing infrastructure layer for robotics. So with any engineering project, not just in the robotics space, there are kind of a set of things that I like to describe as necessary but insufficient conditions for success. So for example, if you're trying to build a rocket, you need rocket fuel, but that doesn't mean that you're going to make it to space. And to me, infrastructure and developer tooling are those things for robotics and physical AI. I actually did about a month ago an informal poll of a lot of our customers asking, what percentage of engineering resources and time at your companies do you think you spend on non-core product, things like, data management, visualization, configuration management, all these things that are kind of non-differentiated, but without them, your company cannot succeed. You can't build your core business. And I got a quite large range of answers from our customers, on the low side of 30%, and I all the way up to 75% of engineering effort. The average actually ended up being just over 60%, which is kind of a crazy number to me, if you think about that. The people in this room, all of you here, are working on some of the hardest engineering challenges on Earth today, right? You're trying to build autonomy in semi-structured and unstructured environments. And yet, 30 to 75% of your engineering time is going to things that are non-core product development. So what if I told you you could have an extra day per week dedicated to our engineering work, to your core engineering work? What about 3? How much faster would you be able to move and get to market and actually deliver value and scale and change the world in the way that you are aiming to change the world? So that is what we're trying to do here at Foxglove, right? We want to provide that infrastructure so that you can focus on your core product development. So Foxglove started with supporting the development end of things, R&D, through our visualization platform. We also added a data layer to that. So we have a data platform that can store, index, stream, search, and share your data. And MCAP, the open standard for multimodal time series data. And now we're starting to forge forward into operations. As you go from research to operations, so do we. So I'm incredibly excited to announce a couple of updates across these pillars. And the first of those is improvements to the extensibility of the Foxglove data platform and visualization. We'll dive into these with a little bit of a demo in a second, but in addition to that, we're also announcing the ability to embed Foxglove in your apps. We're giving updates around interactive robot development, and finally, last but certainly not least, teleoperations. So I've always been told that it's way more fun to show, not tell. So with that, it's demo time. Please say a little prayer to the demo gods for me. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is our extensibility. So Foxglove already has, we kind of fundamentally in our DNA, we believe that Foxglove needs to be an extensible platform. The reason for this is that there are so many different domains that robotics is being applied to, so many different middlewares, stacks. You just had this incredible conversation about end-to-end learning versus, the classical methods. And there is no, single solution out there. And so we need to build Foxglove to be adaptable to what you need and the way you are building your stack. So existing places where Foxglove is already extensible are things like our extension API. So all of the visualizations you see in Foxglove actually are primitives that are built on top of primitives that are available to you. So you can create custom visualizations called custom panels. And these can actually be versioned and source controlled and shared seamlessly through your Foxglove organization and distributed to all of your users. We also have things like user scripts that allow you to write scripts within your data to explore, within your visualization to explore and manipulate your data. And now we're happy to announce a couple of additional updates on top of that. The first one is data loaders. So what a data loader does is it allows you to write a binding in C++ or Rust and actually tell Foxglove how to interpret your custom data format. So I'll click open local file here, and you can see that I can actually open this MP3 file. And while this is a toy example, you could see how if you've built a proprietary data format, or as I've heard some of you tell me, and I won't name names, that you might have 3 or 4 proprietary data formats, depending on the evolution of your company, you can write a data loader so you can open any of that data in Foxglove. So I'll open this. And now you can see my audio is here in Foxglove already. But not only are we announcing that, we're also announcing topic converters. So topic converters actually allow you to write source-controlled, versioned scripts that can also transform your data. So I wrote a little toy topic converter in here that is actually running a quick fast Fourier transform over my audio signal in, bucketing that data and creating a spectrum analyzer. So I have a lot of fun with this. It's obviously a toy example. But the point of this is, this is actually in the client in real time right now doing the spectrum analysis of my audio signal and creating this. So I will actually tonight upload this to our Foxglove extension repository. You'll be able to download it, install it on your own free Foxglove instance, and you can play MP3s and visualize data directly in Foxglove, and it is just that easy. So up next is the ability to embed Foxglove in any product or application that you have. So you might have already seen a preview of this yesterday if you were here for Shield's HiveMind discussion. We're very excited to announce that Foxglove now has libraries available in React and TypeScript that allow you to embed it anywhere in any application. When you do this, you still have the ability to stream data from the cloud. You can open live data sources over the WebSocket connection, or you can open local files. But the nice thing here is if you've already put the effort into building a bunch of tooling and infrastructure around, perhaps, for example, in HiveMind, the massive parallel simulation test runs or operations, and then you want to be able to, as part of that, open a data source and inspect it without tabbing around and managing windows, Foxglove can now be embedded directly in your organization's application. So next up, we're just going to keep running through these, is the ability to do live interactive development with Foxglove in a Jupyter notebook. So I'll walk you through this. This is in a private preview right now, but I clicked the wrong button. We'll just clear all that stuff so that I go in the right order. So this first cell, we're installing the Foxglove SDK. So the Foxglove SDK, if you're not familiar, is a tool that we released 9 months ago or so, and it makes it super easy to integrate your robot stack with Foxglove. So it has all of the Foxglove schemas and primitives available directly in it. It's available in C++, Python, and Rust. And it is this lovely tool because if you just want to get logging really quickly, you import the Foxglove SDK and you just write foxglove.log, and then you give it the type of data, the message schema that you want to log. And it is really, you can get up and running with 2 lines of code. The Foxglove SDK is built on a sources and sinks model. So the way that works is basically you can point data towards the Foxglove SDK using the foxglove.log line, and then you can tell it write to a local MCAP on your disk, so it will manage writing data to your disk. It can write data to multiple MCAPs. It can split it as you so see fit, and it can also be pointed at the WebSocket connection as well. So you can use the Foxglove SDK very seamlessly to write data to disk and visualize data live as well. And so now it's integrating with with our Jupyter Notebook package. Today, right here, we're importing that as a separate package. This is in private beta. Probably once this goes to a public release, it will actually be directly integrated into the SDK. We're still making some final decisions there, but if you want to give it a shot, give us a shout out, and we'd be happy to set you up. This next cell, I'm just loading the layout for our visualization. And finally, I'm creating my Foxglove viewer. But now that I've done that, everything we're looking at here is actually just robot code that I'm using to manipulate my, this is a little robot SO100 that I have in here. So I'm loading my URDF for that, which is basically the definition. If you're not familiar with the URDF, that's just the definition of my robot, the joints and static transforms and the linkages. So I'm loading that, and now this is my robot code. I'm just doing some very simple manipulation of my joints to have a toy example here. The only other interesting things that are going on from the actual Foxglove integration here is I'm telling the viewer to start logging. I'm creating my data, so here's my joint angles, calculating my transforms from that. This is the foxglove.log line. So this is literally all you have to write to log that data to an MCAP or a live connection. And then I hit viewer show, and we should see the Foxglove viewer. And I can click play here, and I have a live 3D Foxglove instance that is showing me exactly the work that the code that I just played with. So let's say I want to investigate this some. I could split this right and change this to a raw messages panel and look at my transforms, and I can actually see, okay, these are the values that are being commanded to my robot with the transforms here. If I want to see those visualized, I could turn on my transformations here. I will turn off the labels to make it a little bit easier to look at, but yeah, I can now look at my transforms visually. I can look at the data here. Let's say I want to plot this as well. I can click this button, and now I'm also plotting. I can see the sine curve of, I guess this is my shoulder actuator here. So it is that easy. This will be available soon, so feel free to poke us on our Discord, on Slack. Come find us at the booth in the exhibitor area if you want to chat about the availability of this. And finally, I'm going to save, I have been saving the most exciting update, I think, from my perspective for last, which is Foxglove teleoperation. So the Foxglove teleoperation is built on top of the SDK as well as the Foxglove agent. So the Foxglove agent is a tool that we already have that can be installed on your robot. And what it does is it just keeps track of the data that you're writing to your disk on your robot, and it syncs that information as metadata to the cloud so that you can tell at any given time what data is available on your robot. It also allows any person from your operations or your engineering team to look at the Foxglove console, select some sections of data, and fetch that automatically. So then when you tell the agent, upload this data, it will manage a lossy network connection or anything else, and it will eventually push that data to the cloud and make it available for visualization. And the agent allows you to set rules using glob patterns for automatic upload of data. So the thing that we've added to that now is the Foxglove SDK, the sources and sinks model that I was talking about. It can also point to the Foxglove agent, and the Foxglove agent can now maintain a live connection to the cloud. So it connects to the Foxglove cloud, and then you can connect to that connection in the cloud and view the data live from the robot. So let's open this up, and I will give you some details about why this is super exciting if it's not entirely obvious on its own. So this is a Unitree Go 1. It's actually upstairs on the balcony live right now. You're looking at the data coming from the Unitree right now. You can see the topics here that are available to me. And why this is super exciting is that the teleoperations connection does a couple things. One, it manages lossy network connections. So if you are on a network connection and you're dropping packets or you don't have a stable connection to the robot, the Foxglove teleoperations tooling manages that for you. It also does multiplexing for you. So let's say you're having a robot in the field having some sorts of issues. You can actually have multiple engineers connecting to that, and rather than all of them going through the connection down to the robot and overwhelming your bandwidth in the field, it gets multiplexed from the cloud side out. And then the final thing is that it also is a two-way communication protocol, so it can do a couple things. One, it tells the agent on the robot what data is actually being visualized, and only that data is being pushed up through the connection. So you're not getting a bunch of wasted bandwidth. And yeah, that's finally, the last exciting bit is that I can actually also send commands to the robot. But I can also, before I do that, if we want, we can look at some of the data in here. I will, let's say, for example, maybe I want to look at my IMU data. I can pull up a plot panel, drop it in here, and I can look at my orientation information. I seem to be having an issue. This is why we have teleoperations, because we have a live video data through, but it seems like for some reason our ROS node that is publishing the IMU data here is not actually, it normally would tell me actually the frequency it's being published at. which means that my IMU must be offline. We have a ROS node that is kind of collecting that data from, I don't know if you've developed on a Go 1, but it doesn't publish super easily in all scenarios. So we have a ROS node that is reading off the Go 1 and then republishing it. That node must be down. So we've been able to diagnose that using teleoperations here. Hopefully, hopefully the teleop node is still up. OK, so we're having some downtime issues. But you can see my coworker Eric here. He is actually live upstairs. You can go wave at him later. If you want to come play with this, oh, he's waving at us. Hey, Eric. That was Eric right there, actually. If you want to play with this later and see some of the other data being transferred through, we will probably set it up either in the exhibitor area or upstairs. So come check that out. So with those announcements out, we wanted to tell you guys that at Foxglove, we believe that robotics development is not zero-sum. We believe that of the work that the people in this room are going to build, probably only 1% of what we are all going to achieve over the next decade or two has been built so far. And not only that, but we're going to be building on each other's work in a collaborative way. So whether or not you are using Foxglove today, or you just have the thought of there must be a better way to do X, or something you want to learn about, please come reach out to us, talk to us. We're always excited to work together and to collaborate. I have a vision that the next cohort of robotics companies that are founded today will be able to go grab off-the-shelf infrastructure, pick up a foundational model that is already pre-trained from companies in this room, purchase off-the-shelf hardware that is ready to run, and be able to get to market at the same speed that that software companies are able to do today. So that's my presentation. Thank you all so much for joining us today.